Hi everybody, Dhaman Mehta here, and thank you for once again joining me on my journey as I go through my favorites list on fanfiction.net. Let's just dive into these stories, starting with No Competition by Evilgoddss. This is a Harry Potter one-shot where that was basically started as like Voldemort calling his Death Eaters, and then the Death Eaters explaining why they can't go after Harry Potter because he's basically become a real Dark Lord and has collected all the dark creatures in the wizarding world to him and love him. And then afterwards, the author decided to actually expand and go through the story from the beginning and see how Harry grew up. This is just a lot of fun character bits that are all focused around Harry while not really featuring him directly. Like, he exists as a character and there are some scenes with him, but there's also many scenes that are just like about the characters and other people that are around him and dealing with like their living conditions surrounding the situation that grows around this. Like, it's really fun. The cast that grows around him are all entertaining, especially his like basically adopted mother, like Allison Black, who's like a squib from the Black family. That's just like she is just really entertaining, and her like kind of like disregard for all the dark creatures going around there is really funny. I wish there was more, but there's certainly a lot of laughs to be found here. It's gonna stay on my list. Next is The Difference One Man Can Make by Joan1801. This is another Harry Potter crossover, this time with Game of Thrones, where Harry is after canon, and like after the book 7, he decides to take a trip around the world and learn magic from a whole bunch of places all over the place, and then goes around for 12 years learning magic, appears back in Britain for like a day because he hears there's some other, pure blood movement going around, like pure blood. It's really like stupid. But like they show up, and then he gets sent through the veil, ends up in Westeros, beyond the wall, where he essentially becomes king of the wildlings. So the story gets points for being original. Like, this is not the Game of Thrones story. This happens before. This is happening like I think right after Robert's Rebellion and such. But yeah, we definitely didn't see that. I definitely don't know it. Like, new story and all that stuff. But I don't really know anybody there. I'm not a huge Game of Thrones guy, so I don't know very little, and I definitely don't know the names of all the individual tribes of wildlings and stuff. And also Harry himself doesn't really seem to have any connection to Harry. Like, forget having any connection to the people that he's left and now all that stuff. And that's like the fact that he was gone for 12 years and stuff basically is used as an excuse so that he can act completely like a different character and such. And he becomes like a Harry in name only. And this all just like sapped my interest, It doesn't help that the first few chapters kind of jump months at a time and skip over the whole like basically nation building that he's and tribe building that he's a bunch of tribe building that he's doing. So there's a lot of just tell and not show. There's a lot here, so maybe if you go into this and you find something interesting, you can continue and have a lot of it. But I struggle to get past chapter 4, so I'm kicking this off my list. Number 3 is 0800 Rent a Hero by Brainthief. More Harry Potter, this time basically Harry a little bit after, like a year or so after the Battle of Hogwarts, gets summoned by a different Order of the Phoenix from another dimension that wants him to solve all their problems. Just this Harry, like unlike a lot of like, or at least many summoning fics, like this guy pushes back. He's like, "Yo, you guys you summon me here, caused me a lot of pain and stuff because like the ritual to get there wasn't exactly pleasant, and just want me to do everything for you? Like, fuck off." So that works. Like, and then the author also does a lot of good world building here, like especially expanding on the whole practice of divination, which is not something we really get a lot of in canon, aside from just the fact that prophecies exist. Like, great. Like, is there nothing else? Like, why is this even an elect? Like, this builds on it and actually makes it something useful and interesting, and something that could actually be studied in a class. Like, it's engaging in its own right, but Harry's struggles and his dealings with the other wizards are equally entertaining and exciting. I wish this was complete, as it stops on something that's like kind of a big emotional, like a cliffhanger emotionally for like the two of the main characters essentially. Um, but I still like highly recommend this as a really good look at a like alternate universe like summoned hero story. I like it a lot. It's gonna stay on my list. Number 4 is Olympian One-Offs by Bones Boy. Um, Bones Boy is an author. Many of his stories have been on my list so far. He writes, the main thing he wrote is stories where Naruto is a child of one of the Olympians, the gods in the Percy Jackson universe. And this one is basically one shots, or again maybe first few of them a bit more, where he's from the other gods, where he just didn't make a full story out of. So like we get like one raised by Artemis, one raised by Dionysus, one raised by or one born to somebody else and then becomes like Hera's champion, like stuff like that. I like these a lot. Like they're all they're interesting, and like many one shot collections that I actually keep and like on this list. These aren't just like paragraph length prompts, but actual pretty much like chapters of an unrealized story, and so we actually get to dive into the premises and enjoy them. It spreads them out nicely. Multiple of them actually get multiple follow-up chapters, so they're all really interesting. I like it a lot. It's a good smorgasbord of Naruto crossovers with PJO. It's gonna stay on my list. Number 5 is Little Monsters by Biscoff. This is a short, this is basically just a single scene alternate version of the Team 7 bell test from Naruto, where each member of Team 7 also has a power from one of the characters of Worm. So like they're all there, they fight a little, and then the test happens, and that's it. It's fine, but it's more of a prompt than something that stands on its own. Just like an interesting scene of like a what if, like, and that would have been worth expanding on. But as it is by itself, it's gonna fall off my list. Number 6 is Can't Unsee by Volent Red X. Single one little joke in the Worm universe about Sophia's real thoughts about Taylor. It's mildly amusing, but it's also a joke that I didn't really need to. I don't really see a need to revisit. Like, it gave me like a small chuckle, but not a big laugh or something that I think would be worth coming back to and revisiting. And so it's gonna fall off my list. And finally, for this video, is The Greatest Infiltration Ever by Dussel Bladesinger. And this is another like one shot joke, but this is one that I enjoyed a lot. Like I was smiling and like basically chuckling throughout the entire length of the time I was reading this, and I really did like it a lot, especially the ending, and like why it happened. Just like it works as a nice bit of crack, and it actually gives Sasuke like a bit of heart. It's a Naruto thing. Like it's surprising. I liked it. The humor is absurd and really enjoyable. And Sasuke himself works as a great straight man for all the absurdity and stuff. I like this one a lot. It's going to stay on my list. So there we go. Fan fiction status time. I've now read 1,139 fics, and 532 of them have managed to stay on my list. So, yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. As always, links to everything are in the description down below, as well as links to the forum where I post this in written form with links to the videos, link to the playlist that has all the videos, links to my profile if you want to see these stories or the ones that have stayed on my list or the ones that I've yet to talk about. That's all there. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.